This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez and Jay McLovin. How's it going, guys?
Well, pretty good. Not too bad. Well, other than freezing.
Yeah, it's
cold.
finally gotten to the freezing temperatures here. Thank God it's not raining or we'd have snow. So I'm getting lucky right now. I got the cold weather. I just don't have the precipitation, so I'm doing good. I mean, I have no ice on the ground, so we're good today.
We got a little bit of ice and about an inch more snow last night.
Yeah, I was on my way to work last night, going to get into the car, and I about went down, man. It would have been bad. I thought I was done.
That's about when it started getting nasty.
Yeah,
around 9:30.
Yeah,
9-10 o'clock when it started getting nasty.
Coming out the driveway, how that slants, man, and getting into my buddy's car to go to work, and I slid about 2 feet, man, and I don't know how I stayed up, but if I wouldn't have stayed up, I probably would have been in bed right now because I probably would have been getting up.
I fell a couple of Mondays, about 3 days ago, and I've been hurting, never been hurt since. Feet slid right out from under me. My phone went flying, made it in a big pile of snow. Yeah, it wasn't a good day.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've fallen on ice before. I told you that story about going up the steps and falling and hitting the concrete. Yeah, you can have that stuff, Tony. Lord, I don't miss that one bit at all.
What do you think about LeBron James not being able to hit a game-winning shot no more?
Yeah, well, apparently, Lucas said, sometimes Braun will be the hot guy, and sometimes he'll be the hot guy, and we'll see who has the hot. And I'll be honest with you, up until those game-winning shots, Braun had the touch. I think it was like 7 of 8 or something like that. But you're right, you can't hit the big.
He
shot.
had the hot hand in
All I know.
Yeah, LeBron had the hot hand. He had the hot hand for most of that fourth quarter, so I didn't have an issue with him taking the shot at all.
And what I didn't know, because I didn't see the game, but I seen the clip when I came home, that he had hit a 3 to even get him to that point, within 1, and then they come down and scored 2, and then he took that last shot. So, I mean, he hit a big 3 right before that in the last 10 seconds.
So I didn't watch it before.
I'm just going to say this.
Listen to some of it. Everybody was saying he was the hot player.
No more GOAT talk. Or comparing to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan would have hit that. Tony, how many times we see Jordan hit that shot? 9 times out of 10, that shot. And look, and he had 2 times on the same shot. You think Jordan would have missed twice? He damn sure would have.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question, Jay. So last night is what done it for you to make it where he's no longer in the GOAT talk?
He's never been in the GOAT talk for me, but I mean, he's a great player.
Look, Braun is not in the GOAT talk. He is a great phenomenal. I mean, he's in the same tier with Jordan, but he is not. Look, he's not Jordan. He's not Jordan. Jordan would not admit it.
He's not Jordan, but what I'm saying, I was just making sure that it wasn't last night that changed your mind on that. I was hoping you knew that before that.
Look, that's not the first game-winning shot he's ever missed, okay? I've seen that man miss quite a few game-winning shots. Okay, I'm sorry. The guy's great. Great player. Not taking that away from him, right? Top 3. I think Kobe, Bron, MJ, all up in there.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
And I think at some point you got to put Lou Alcindor in there, which is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He should be up in there. I mean, that's probably my big 4 right there.
Thanks for watching, Josh. We appreciate it.
Hey,
Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird.
Oh, that's another one that doesn't get enough love. Bird, damn sure wouldn't have missed that shot, especially twice in a row. You get that man 2 shots to make a 3, they going down. And the second one didn't even hit the rim. The second shot was an air ball.
Hey, how many game winners did Jordan miss?
Very many.
I don't know. He's got 6 rings. Could have been too many.
No, he has 6 rings. I'm just asking you how many game winners in there.
Could have been too many. I remember watching him.
I figured you was going to say 0. I was trying to get people fired up here. I thought you was gonna say none. I was trying to get people fired up.
There wasn't very many.
Let's be honest. Go back and look at it. He really has it. I mean, his field goal percentage was amazing. You know, and I'm not trying to knock Braun, but at the same time, I'm not trying to inflate him any more than he is.
What's up, guys?
Glenn. What's up, Glenn?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Oh no, it depends on how you answer the question. How you feel about Braun after he missed 2 game-winning tying shots comparing to Jordan? How you feel about that? It's my contention. It's my contention that you can no longer put him in the GOAT status, just like you can't put Patrick Mahomes in the GOAT status. You got to beat the best to be the best, and you got to make the 3-point game-winning shot. And he missed it twice. Twice. Do we still consider LeBron to be the GOAT?
No, absolutely not. Sorry, Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie.
You got to reach Jordan to get to that status, though. So he might own the points thing, but yeah.
I don't think anybody here had him at the GOAT before last night.
No, I didn't. but
you know, Chris, you know it's out there. Every time you turn on Facebook, you know, they're always comparing something to Jordan, comparing LeBron to Jordan, this to Jordan. And I'm like, bro, come on. Why don't you show that video clip and compare that to Jordan? How about we see that on Facebook more often?
Honestly, though, to be honest with you, as much as I win, I'm probably more of a GOAT to Jordan than LeBron is.
Here's what people don't want to hear. Here's what people don't want to hear. The real comparison they should be trying to make is not LeBron and Jordan. They should try to be comparing LeBron to Larry Bird and see if he's as good as Larry Bird before they even worry about putting him on the same level as Michael Jordan.
That's definitely wrong.
Or Magic Johnson. What about Magic?
There's no way Bird would
Magic
that
up there
shot
too.
twice.
I don't think Bird gets
they
the
had
credit
the
he.
3-point contest back then. How much would Steph Curry even be the 3-point champion if they were shooting the 3 ball back then like they shoot the 3 ball now? I don't think he would. I think that would have been a Bird's creme de la creme moment.
He has an awful good shot.
I think the other one that is almost as good a shooter as him would have been. I like Ray Allen. I thought Ray Allen had a really nice 3-point shot. You know, he's won a lot of big games for the Miami Heat and LeBron led Heat team.
I'm biased. Reggie Miller was also a real good 3-point shooter.
Oh, Reggie Miller was amazing. Oh yeah, especially with the little whole choke thing. Oh yeah, and that's what I can imagine Reggie Miller doing this to LeBron after last night. I mean, I can just see pictures of it. I wish we had a meme for that. Man, you know how to generate memes. Generate a meme with Reggie Miller doing this to LeBron. That would be badass.
What do you think of the Spurs situation now with Victor Wembanyama going to be out? They made that trade. Made the trade deadline to try to get better, and then now Wembanyama's out for the rest of the season with a blood clot in his right shoulder.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if I'm Wemby, I'm not worried about playing. I would probably be dropping down on my knees and thanking the good Lord that they found that blood clot where they found it, versus it getting up into that bloodstream and getting to his heart or his brain and killing him. So I mean, he got lucky. He's very, very. I mean, if I'm him, I'm kissing the ground, saying I got another day to see tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. You know, I mean, it's much bigger than just playing in the season.
Oh yeah, that's what killed one of my best friends about 3 years ago.
Yeah, blood clot. Yeah, guys, I got a question. I know none of us are doctors. I've heard a lot about blood clots in legs. I've never, and I'm sure it's not unusual, but I've never heard of a blood clot in a shoulder. Is that common?
You know, I would imagine anywhere where blood can coagulate, it's probably going to be common.
I mean, I've always heard about legs.
I don't know the percentage of that, but you know, you get I had a fat clot come off my leg. They caught it in my throat with some steroids, and luckily I didn't die. But I had a fat clot come off my leg, and you don't see that very often either. I think, Tony, you know, sometimes you just get those weird things, and unfortunately it was in his shoulder, but
yeah, I've never heard of that.
I'm wondering if maybe he didn't like hurt his shoulder or like bruise it up real bad or something, and that's what maybe that's what caused a blood clot.
You gotta think, right? Deep shoulder thrombosis. I mean, And it happened right after the All-Star break. So, I'm wondering if he got hit or something happened at the All-Star break and he just didn't realize it.
I'm not sure how common it is to have it in the arm.
I've never.
Most of the time, I hear about it in the leg and then moving up from a leg to somebody's heart. And
that's what I've always heard.
But I'll tell you, and this is just another reason what I was trying to say when Wembanyama was drafted, even before him, when Chet Holmgren was drafted and so forth. Like the guys like Manute Bowles and stuff that are super skinny but tall as hell. They got the great height, but I still feel like you need some weight to put on that body to protect you. I mean, how much? I don't know if it's directed from contact or not, but when you're that damn skinny, you have no fat or muscle to protect yourself from. I wonder if that's going to lead down to other issues.
But you also talk about weight, and don't get me wrong. I know that they could use some weight, but I'm sure there's probably a situation there where how much weight can that frame carry? I'm not talking about them gaining 100 pounds. Just that because they're so big, their frame is so big. Yeah, it can be a lot of weight or more weight could be tough on the joints and the bones.
I'll tell you this. Shaq, Wemby's 7'3". I think Shaq, correct me if I'm wrong, Shaq is around 7'4". You could put the weight on there. Like, I'm not asking him to get as big as Shaq or anything like that, but if he had a frame that was built more like a Tim Duncan, right? Tim Duncan was tall. He had a muscular build, but he wasn't overly weight. He wasn't like overly, oh my God, he was really actually in good shape. Something of that kind of weight of that caliber, I think would be perfectly fine for him.
But we say that he needs to put on weight.
Joker.
We say Wembanyama needs to put on weight, but if you look at a guy, you can compare him to like Kevin Durant. He's built a lot like Kevin Durant. He's just a little bit taller, and Durant's been able to thrive in the league without having to thicken his frame up.
The only thing is though, but Durant, he really kind of plays more on the perimeter though, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't really get down in the sauce.
Wembanyama plays a lot in the perimeter as well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where he was hurt though. I'm wondering if he was hurt. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just wondering if he was hurt on the perimeter or if he was hurt in the paint, or was this something just completely out of nowhere?
I was reading. It says a blood clot in the shoulder, also known as deep vein thrombosis in the upper extremity, is rare, but can occur. So it is rare. It is rare for it to happen.
And like Philip says, you can get a blood clot anywhere, and I agree. I believe you can.
It says it costs
anywhere.
It says on here that like blood clots in the upper extremity account for only 10% of like blood clots through the body. Usually they're in the lower extremities.
I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it does. And so I'm wondering if it's a rare thing like that. Number one, I'm wondering how he got it. Was it something that was contact related, or was it something that just came out of nowhere and he just developed it?
Yeah.
I mean,
hopefully
that's the weird thing about it. Yeah.
Let's hope that it doesn't end up like Chris Bosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because that could very well happen. I mean, I'm sure he's going to go through a lot of examining before he even steps foot back on the court. So, and he's not playing the rest of this season. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out of this as he goes and sees further doctors, and if it is something that was contact related or if it's not contact related. And if it's not contact related, that really makes me nervous because, like Philip said, you could be anywhere on the court, just like your friend. You could be out there thinking everything is fine, and then it's not fine. And I'd hate to see that happen to him. So you never know.
Hey,
So what now?
Hey, did we already talk about Bobby Portis getting suspended yet?
Oh, we haven't got there. We'll get there in just a sec. But
yeah.
Hey, what does this mean now for the Spurs, though? I mean, obviously they're not going to be. They're not going to be entitled contenders, but I mean, they were just now starting to form that chemistry with Fox and everybody else to get that team, really on the road to success. And now that's going to set them back quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they're done. They might be lucky to get to play in, but that's probably about the ceiling right now.
Right. And I'm just wondering, even after this season, how much longer before they can really start to make progress again. That's assuming Wembanyama can come back and can continue his basketball career.
Yeah,
he's young. I would think unless it's something chronic that he, I think they did the smart thing. Hey, he's got an issue. Let's shut him down. He's young. He's our future. Let's get him shut down and let's get him taken care of. So I think that's a smart move on their part. Not to say, hey man, we got a chance to make the playoffs. Let's try to get him back in a month. Hey, they just said, hey, let's shut it down. Of course, we don't know what the doctors told. I mean, it may not be no choice. Doctors will say, hey, this is going to take 3 or 4 months to take care of. His season's over. I have no idea. But hopefully gets took care of and he's back stronger next year.
The first thing you got to figure out is how he got it. And once you figure out how he got it, then you got to figure out, okay, what's the chances of him getting it again? I think those have got to be the 2 biggest questions before they'll let him even think about getting back on the court.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much this is going to help set the Spurs back. Are we looking at 1 season? Are we looking at a season and a half? Are we looking at 2 seasons, 3 seasons? I mean, that's the biggest thing because they were really starting to put a team together and start to gel a team. It looked really good, and then this came along.
From what I'm reading, it says it could take several months, or it can take from a couple months to several months, to recover and like heal up from it. So that would be why they shut him down for the rest of the season, because it could take anywhere from 2 to 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, the best thing that you want to see is get into the playing game, then all of a sudden he comes back and has another episode on the court and ends up traumatizing all the fans and shit. You don't want that to happen.
I think.
Well, that's the thing. Right? Even if, let's say he heals up and there's no sign of it and he's cleared of it, what if he gets back on the court and if this is something that wasn't a contact injury, and could it be a chronic thing where he could develop it at any moment? What's the risk? What's the risk factor he's taking by going out on the court? I think that's got to be the biggest thing in their mind.
Yeah. I think it sets them back a little bit, Jay, but I don't think it sets them back. They were just starting up. That it sucks. It was just starting up on the uphill climb. Right. But I think if he comes back in 2 or 3 months and get back and the training and back on the gym floor with all his teammates, they have a whole off season together. I think that they'd come back next year. Definitely a playoff team. I really do. So I think as long as he's healthy, of course, that's the big thing. But
right.
But I don't think
so. They still have 2 big ones, right? So you got Pop that's still coming back from that stroke. Still don't really know if he's going to be their coach or not be their coach, depending on his health as it continues hopefully to improve. Then you got Wemby going down. I mean, that team is really taking some hits. This year, just this year alone, that team has taken a lot of hits. And usually those kinds of things will make a team stronger. Usually teams will come together. They'll bond over it, something like that, and hopefully maybe there'll be a good story and he'll come back from that. I just hope it's like he said. I hope it's not like a Chris Bosh or what's the other big guy that was out there in Portland that had a good career and then his injuries took him out of the game. I forget his name offhand.
Are you thinking of Greg Oden?
Thank you, Greg Oden. Yeah, or it could be an Oden where you try.
He didn't have a great NBA career, but he was like because of injuries. But yeah, he actually played high school basketball here in Indiana at Lawrence North.
He was
Greg Oden. Yeah.
Him and Conley.
Yep, him and Conley both played on the same high school team here in Indiana.
Oh wow. Okay.
My senior year, Richmond played North Central, and that was I think Eric Gordon's senior year, and man, that dude was nuts on that on us.
Yeah, you had Gordon, Oden, Conley, all of them played high school basketball here in Indiana. Jay,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was like a renaissance for Indian high school basketball at that time.
Wow. Okay.
As well as Gordon Hayward as well.
So that makes you wonder. What's this? What is? That's really the biggest thing for Wemby. It's not can he get rid of the blood clot and be okay. That I guarantee you that's going to happen. It's really going to be what comes afterwards. And I think that's what I'm curious to wait and see what the doctors say as he continues to get evaluated and things like that, and hopefully more information comes to light. can he continue his career, or is this going to be something that's reoccurring? That's really the big question. I think, Tony. I think that's kind of what you were thinking about too. Is that going to be a lingering thing, or is he going to be able to stay out there?
Jay,
Which would really
another
suck,
NBA player that was from another NBA player that was from Indiana, real quick, was Sean Kemp.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Zach Randolph is another one.
He's from North. He was from Elkhart, Indiana, up north.
They got those big
Zach
boys
Randolph
out
is
there.
another one as well. Zach Randolph used to play for the Memphis Grizzlies, and earlier his career played for Portland.
A lot of basketball talent come out of Indiana.
Would you say Larry Bird's the most famous one?
Yes, absolutely, Tony. No doubt about it.
I mean, I can't think of a basketball player that's from Indiana that would be bigger than him.
Yeah, you'll do it any bigger, and here in Indiana, Larry Bird, obviously. So,
yeah, but we definitely know it's not LeBron, so we're good.
yeah, that would be hard.
I'm just throwing shade at Indiana. I'm sorry, my man, LeBron.
I heard LeBron's going to retire from the Lakers and join the Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Well, I got to be honest with you. It certainly would fit right in alignment with everything else the Cowboys have done. So I don't know that if me or even Big Glenn would be shocked at that. Big Glenn, would you be shocked if LeBron joined the Cowboys? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
Nah, because Jerry's crazy ass probably have him out there playing the wide receiver number 3.
Yeah, he's gonna be the guy's new quarterback. He's gonna be the new quarterback. He's gonna take Dak's spot.
Let's go to the Lakers.
Okay, fellas. We've really gone a little off the rails here. That's a little off the rails. Nobody's gonna believe that. You said they could join the Cowboys. You're very believable, and then you had to go a little further and say quarterback, and then you just lost the whole god. You just lost everything. Come on. You could have said
he's gonna be the point guard of the football team.
Backer. You could have said punter or kick returner. Maybe we would have believed you, but then you went to say quarterback.
Well, if I remember,
You could be the point guard of the football team, man. He'd be dishing out dimes on the basketball court. Why can't he do it as a quarterback?
Or he could be like when Herschel Walker came back to Cowboys in the mid-'90s and just play kick return.
What would be the chances of turning the second big trade? We trade LeBron James to the Kansas City Chiefs for picks and players to be named later. I mean, what the hell? Shit. You never know. I mean, the Herschel Walker trade was probably the biggest trade in NFL history. Could the Cowboys repeat that? Probably not.
No, I don't think they'll find another sucker.
He's already retired.
Hey, Jay, so what did Bobby Portis get suspended for?
Drugs.
Yeah, so apparently, and I don't know how this happens, but apparently he went and got some tramadol, and he says, quote unquote, he thought he was getting Teradol. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know how that happens. I mean, do you just get tramadol over the counter and maybe you just chose the wrong bottle? Or do you go to your pharmacist and say, yo, look, I want some tramadol, but we're going to call it Teradol. Somebody asked you, it was Teradol. Like, how does that work? Here's a few Benjamins to make this go away. Like, how do you just take tramadol and then tell me it's Teradol? I'm getting sick and tired of all this crap about performance-enhancing drugs that come up and they want to deny it. And they want to say, well, I thought it was this. I didn't realize it had this in it or this in it or this in it. How many times have we heard this crap? I'm sick of it. We are not stupid athletes. We know what the hell you're doing. Don't think you're pulling other wool over our eyes. You're not.
Maybe well, Bobby sucks, so that's what I think about it.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you confuse tramadol with Teradol? I mean, come on. I mean, did he just look up the medical pharmaceutical dictionary and say, okay, what's the closest thing to tramadol? And we're going to say, I thought it was that. What are we doing?
Sounds like something Bobby Portis would say.
I mean, how stupid are we? I don't even know what Teradol is. I know tramadol, I believe, is a steroid. I don't know.
I know what pterodactyl is. That's from Jurassic Park. That's not a drug.
Yeah, I know what pterodactyl is too. Let me see here.
Jay, was you around back then?
Teradol.
Might be.
Yeah.
I heard it.
If I was looking for you. Toradol. There you go.
I was waiting for you to come over. You never made it.
A family of medicines called non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug.
Here's my thing about
it. You take Toradol to relieve pain and swelling and soreness that can occur from surgery.
Here's the thing. Yeah. They get when they done my back. No, Jay, you have it backwards. He got suspended for taking the tramadol.
Yeah, but he's claiming it was Toradol. You see what I'm saying?
He thought he was taking. He said he took the wrong pill. But here's the thing, Jay. What? Here's the thing. Both of them are pain medicine.
But he said that he thought he was taking Toradol.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Jay, they're both pain medicines. They're both pain medicines.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, I didn't know what tramadol was, but but apparently it's on the banned substance category.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For some reason, it's on the banned thing, but it's just a stronger painkiller than what Toradol is.
Well, then ain't one of them a steroid though?
Right here it says
so Toradol is a non-steroidal drug. So it's not a steroid.
It's right here, the drug tramadol and medication used to treat severe pain among adults.
It's a strong pain medicine. I know that.
Yeah.
It's on, but I guess it's a banned substance that you can't use in the NBA.
But I don't think Toradol is a controlled substance. Tramadol is a controlled substance. I mean, it's right there in black and white. It's high risk for addiction and dependence, can cause respiratory distress, death, even taken in high doses or when combined with other substances, especially alcohol or other illicit drugs such as heroin or cocaine. I guarantee he was probably taking it to get high. It's a painkiller. He's probably addicted to painkillers. Took tramadol. Knew he was taking tramadol.
The way he Page
right there, black and white.
And the way he gets crazy, man, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, all this is that one.
The other issue is, did he have a prescription for it?
So just so we're tracking, tramadol is a strong painkiller from a group of medicines called opiates. So tramadol is actually an opiate, and that's why it's a controlled substance. And that's probably why it's on the ban.
But the thing is, Jay, he might have had a subscription for that tramadol from an injury or something. Just because he had tramadol don't mean that he. Huh?
I said, but if it's expired, then it makes it illegal. You understand? Like if he's taking it,
I understand what I'm saying though.
No, I understand what you're saying. You're saying he probably had a prescription for tramadol. He thought he could still take it, and it was probably But again, look, you're a $1 billion athlete.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he probably had what I'm saying is he had a prescription for tramadol probably in his medicine cabinet. He had a prescription for the Toradol that he was taking to help with the swelling for an injury, probably in his medicine cabinet, and he took the wrong one, and then he got popped by the NBA because that one is on their
Gonzo, do you really believe that? Gonzo,
I can see that. I can see that happening because I don't think because I've had surgery before and took pills and took pills until my pain went away, and then I quit taking them. So just because you take a pill don't mean you're addicted to it. I can see that happening.
Okay, based on that,
the names are similar. I can see that happening.
No, I did, but let's assume you're right. Let's assume everything you just said is exactly the way it happened. Let me ask you a question. I know for a specific fact when I've had surgeries, and I've had a lot of them, I get strong painkiller medications too. I get oxycodone, oxycontin, I get all that. And I know that's a controlled substance as well. And I know they tell you on the bottle, and they tell you in person, hey, this is good from this day to this day. If you need more, come back and see me. I will re-up your prescription, and you can go back and take more. What I'm trying to tell you is if it's in his system and he didn't have a valid reason for taking it under that prescribed time period, right, that makes it illegal. But why is it in your medicine cabinet? Why aren't you throwing it away? How long it's good for?
You're telling me you go through your medicine cabinet like every week and make sure,
if I'm a $1 billion athlete, yeah, I probably am because I don't want to lose my money. No, Gonzo, you asked me the question, I'm gonna give you the answer. Because look, here's the deal.
But now you're doing hypothetical. If I was a multi-million dollar athlete, I probably would.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you the answer. Let me give you the answer. When I was in the military, when I got prescribed the drugs, I was getting knee operations. Hold on. If I took Oxycontin, while in the military without a prescription that says that, and it shows up on my urinalysis, where do you think I'm going to go, Gonzo? I'll tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to get kicked out of the Army. I'm going to get a dishonorable discharge. Now, I might not be making $1 billion, but I don't want a dishonorable discharge either, because what am I going to do for work?
And guess what, Jay?
I don't have to be a billion-dollar athlete to know I got to monitor my stuff because of the consequences.
I get that, Jay. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have got suspended. I'm just saying it could have been an honest mistake. Now he got suspended. He'll either appeal it or he'll do it. He'll do his time, and it's over with. I'm just saying that it could have just been an honest mistake.
Whenever I find a cockroach,
and I'm not saying he shouldn't have got suspended.
If that's the rule, 25 more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you find a cockroach, you ever heard that expression where whenever you find a cockroach, there's 1 million you didn't find? Like, for example, Tucker said there was 6. Now there's 13 or 15 or 16 or whatever it is now to that number. I mean, I'm saying, look, there's cockroaches. And if I find one cockroach, I need to dig a little bit further into it. And I wonder how many more.
Yeah, but what you're saying don't make no sense. You're saying okay by what you're saying is anybody that has some pills that is expired or has took a wrong pill before, they're addicted to pills and they're just terrible. It's basically what's coming out of
that. Do you know for a fact they're not addicted to it? He's taking
what I'm saying. That's the problem. Jay, what you just said is the problem in our fucking world right now. We're always so fucking negative. Oh, he made a mistake, so let's bury that motherfucker for the rest of his life. He shouldn't get a second chance. We should just shoot the motherfucker. I mean, that's our problem. Is everybody wants to be so negative against each other and always assume.
We don't use
words
like.
Wait a minute. Let me finish my fucking point. But let me finish my point. I sit here all the time, let you guys talk, and when I try to say something, I get cut off. I'm finishing my goddamn point this time.
Okay. I was going to shoot somebody.
All I'm trying to say is, just because something happens don't mean somebody's a drug addict or this or that. People make mistakes. Just because he has one pill doesn't mean he has 80 other ones. Or just
but it doesn't mean it does.
I mean, we gotta quit being so damn negative all the fucking time. Is all I'm saying. My bad.
Yes, sir. I only breathe positive now.
You're not Glenn off the fucking joke. What the hell it is?
Hey, no, you're right. You're right. Guys, you're right. I'm gonna when this show ends, I'm gonna go out to my car and I'm gonna disconnect the negative and I'm only gonna run on the positive. See how far that gets me. I love you, Gonzo. That's the first time I've ever seen that worked up before. You actually put a little fear in me. I literally thought you was going to shoot me. I was getting nervous. Can somebody please find Pablo? Can somebody please find Pablo? I didn't know Pablo's okay.
He's okay. He's all right.
Pablo's cool.
Holy. It took Gonzo 4 years with us to finally snap. I'm so proud of you.
Accused.
Well, all right. I don't even know where we go. Where do we go from here? I felt we had a groundbreaking moment. I felt like a therapist.
I just look. My whole thing is, I just hate how we just general. I just hate how the whole, and it's not just you, Jay. It's the whole public. We just generalize things.
Damn.
You guys okay?
It gets old. Just everybody's guilty before they're even been proven guilty. It's just. I hate that. It's supposed to be you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Well, here over the last few years, it's been flipped.
You know, I agree, but I also believe I hear what you're saying, and I don't want you to think I'm being negative, but I do believe in a thing called accountability. I do.
No, and I believe in accountability. He should be punished if he done the wrong thing. If he done the wrong thing, he should be. I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished at all. I'm just saying because of this, I don't think he should be labeled as he was a druggie.
I mean,
is all I'm saying.
If the drug was in the system and it's not supposed to be, he got suspended. I mean, like Chris said, well, maybe he took it by accident. Hey, you got to be accountable.
Yeah, you still.
So he takes his 25-game suspension or whatever it is, and that's it. I mean, but we don't know. Again, assuming that he has a drug problem, I don't know if it's fair because we don't know nothing about the guy. I mean, he may be the biggest drug addict in the league. For all I know, but we don't know. We have no idea.
I don't know.
What's up,
Chris took a very strong stance there, and I'm believing him. Damn it! At this point, I have never said that. Why?
I thought you were going to shoot somebody for a second.
What Glenn say?
I thought you were going to shoot somebody for a second.
He got off the damn air. He gonna get shot.
I don't even know Chris had a neck, but man, that head went straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And that neck must have been about 10 or 15 feet tall, man. He was like,
oh, it's like fucking Cobra, didn't it?
They think I'm gonna shoot somebody. Oh, you have a gun.
Don't have a gun. They're over, I think.
Well, the way I saw your hand moving.
By the way, anybody watching this show, you're totally against violence of any kind, shape, or form. We are very mild-mannered, meek people who just want to love and be loved and be accepted. And by the way, if you're negative, right please stop being negative. Dislocate your battery cable that has a negative terminal on there.
If Logan was watching that, he's probably trying to figure out a way to end the stream.
It's probably a good thing he's working.
Mike Hughes is going off there. Mike, come on, man. You're trying to get people shot over here. What are you doing, Mike?
Hey, I'm the closest one to him, man. Nobody's saying that shit. I'm the one gets me and Papa will be the one get shot. Short Max Chihuahua dies in shooting accident. It's not an accident, it's a shooting.
Gonzo, I just want to let you know that if you have those kinds of desires, you can take it out on Tony. He is my proxy. So you can take it out on Tony by proxy. Just put a picture of Jay McLovin on Tony's body.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
Hey, listen, man. If you don't take one for the team, what are you doing? What are you doing? But anyway, back to Bobby Portis Jr. 25-game suspension. Okay, take your 25 games. And we'll see. Bobby Portis, I'm sorry if I condemned you. 25 days, do your time. Make sure you take the tramadol, throw it in the trash can, put your Teradol in there. And if I may add, in big black letters on a yellow Post-it note on the tramadol or the Teradol, put Teradol. Teradol. In big black letters. I don't know if you're
actually marking it like a marker, so I would know which one was.
Yeah, I got you back. Fuck Bobby Portis, that fucking drug addict. All the damn trouble he's causing. Look at all the trouble he caused there. That damn Bobby Portis. We never talked about him before. We ain't never gonna talk about him again. Fuck him. I don't think I ever heard of that.
Hey, when you see on Facebook, man, I've seen people come on Facebook. They be friends with people for like 35 years. You talk one thing politics, and then everybody's out the window. Unfriended left, unfriended right. You say one thing about Bobby Portis and some tramadol, we're unfriending your ass. Get out of here. Find your terminal.
That stuff is the stupidest shit, too. Don't get me started on that either.
Because fuck it, that's why.
What a time to be alive, man. Listen, we can only have one blow up per show. That's all we're allowed for on the FCC regulation. One blow up. And we've already used it. But on to other things. Can we talk Doncic? Since we're talking basketball, let's talk Doncic for a minute. He's averaging right now with the Lakers at 14.7, 35% shooting, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Gonzo, Glenn, Tony, 35% shooting, man. How long do you expect this to take place before he finally clicks into gear and gets that shooting average back up into at least close to the 50s where it was with the Mavericks prior to his injury? What are we looking at here?
Because the Lakers lost to the sorry-ass freaking Charlotte Hornets last night. I mean, shit.
I'd say give it another towards the end of March. I think it's going to take another 3 or 4 weeks.
You think 3 or 4 weeks? Okay. Gonzo, what are you looking at?
I can see it.
That's what I think. I think it would have been easier if he would have been back with Dallas, but being the fact that he was injured and coming back and he's on a brand new team, different system, actually more pressure. You're a Laker now. You're in LA. There's a lot more pressure in LA than there is in Dallas. So I think it's going to take a little bit more time.
And then you come back to the Lakers and you get to play like 2 games and then boom, it's the All-Star break. So you have a little bit of time off. So.
You go out on injury. You're a Maverick. You come back off injury. You're a Laker. You're trying to find your rhythm. You're trying to find your comfort zone, and you really don't have any friends on the team because you just got there.
And then, like you said, trying to find your rhythm, and then now All-Star break hits, and it's another pause.
Yeah,
and it could take longer than 3 or 4 weeks, Jay. Just like you said, I mean, he was a Maverick. He was happy there. He thought he was the future of the Mavericks. Now he's a Laker. He really didn't want to be a Laker, I don't think. I mean, you take what what's given to you, but mentally, I mean, how tough of a guy is he mentally? Who knows? It may take him a long time to come back from this. Yeah. I mean, he's a human being. He's just not a player. So, I mean, mentally, he may struggle with it for a while. I mean, and it may not. It may just be he's got to get his rhythm back. That could be all it could be, but it could be mental too.
Yeah, especially from Dallas to LA, man, because that's a huge market change.
I mean, it's just weird for me to hear Luka and these types of conversations that we're having because I'm so used to Luka being confident and cocky and a little bit more brash on him, and now it's just kind of like they use the word shell shock when they mention Luka. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen this version of Luka. I've always seen him as the cocky European that comes out and balls out, and I just haven't seen this version of him.
I think he thought he'd be in Dallas for his whole career. I don't think he ever visioned leaving Dallas.
Jay, have you ever been fired from a job?
Sadly, yes.
See, I got fired. I mean, I was there for 25 years, and they laid me off, and it was a permanent layoff. But people got laid off.
Mine wasn't that easy. Mine was I worked at a video store, and I think I was 17 or 18. I think it was 17 or 18. Yeah, I must have been 18. Yeah, it's probably my first year of college, and I was 18 years old. And this girl comes in, and I think I had some posters I was looking at. I was going to keep a couple of them. She's like, "Oh, that's just so tacky. Are you really going to keep those posters?" I was like, "I don't know, man. You're 16 and pregnant. Are you going to keep your kid?" I don't know. Apparently, that didn't go over real well.
But what I'm saying, especially if you've been in a job a long time and get let go.
Apparently that didn't go too well.
It affects you. I mean, if I worked there for 25 years, it really affected me. Luka was there. Basically, I mean, he got fired to a certain degree. They don't want you. Get rid of you. I mean, I know he still got a job, but somewhere else. Yeah. So they didn't want him. So that's got to weigh on you at some point, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if, him being out of shape, being on a different team, trying to find his rhythm, being with a player like LeBron, which is another big-time leader and has a strong personality. I just, because Luka has a strong personality, and I wonder how the two of those and their personalities are going to mesh and how that's going to eventually evolve. Now, it's way too early to tell. We still need to give Luka more time to get back into shape, and I do think maybe when he gets back into the right playing shape, that everything else will fall into place. But there's a lot of unknowns there,
and I hope people don't take this the wrong way. I think they're going to see the best of Luka once LeBron's not there. When it's completely Luka's team and it's built around him. I think that's when you're going to see the best of him. And I'm not saying LeBron's not good. I'm not saying LeBron's I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying when it's completely his team and it's built around him, I think that's when you're going to see the best of him. And the Lakers will be a real threat.
We may not be that far from that too, by the way, Tony.
I mean, yeah, he's got what, 40 or 22 years in the league. I think he's 41. I mean, how many more years of productivity can a 41-year-old or soon to be 42-year-old continue to put on his body and on his mind, emotionally, physically, all the toils of?
He said he can play five.
He said he can play 5.
He said he can play 5 or 6 more years.
I mean, probably could.
You think he can maintain that level?
I don't know if he can, but that's what LeBron said. He thinks he can play 5 to 6 more seasons at this level.
Let me ask you guys this. Let's say he plays another 5 years. Let's say he plays another 5 years and can average 20 points a game for another 5 years. Then do you think he's elevated up the list top 5?
He got reach that.
No, he's not my top 5.
He's got to win 2 more titles.
to be with Jordan? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Even if he – how many titles? He's got 4,
I think he plays probably a couple more years is what I think. I don't think he can play. I think he'll play this year. Finish this year, and I think he'll play next year, and then maybe another year. But I don't think he'll be in LA next year. I think he leaves LA after this season.
You think he goes to Golden State?
I think there's a chance
about that dream with Steph.
And let me ask you guys this: how do you think LeBron felt? Because if everything's true, that LeBron didn't know that they were going to do this Luka deal, and before that, he was in on everything, or at least that's the way I assumed.
Oh,
so
I'm sure he was on everything.
How do you think that set with him? The fact that they did this with, he didn't know, but he found out when we found out.
Like, do you think he's looking at it as like, well, they're being disloyal, so maybe I shouldn't be as loyal back going in the future?
I think maybe he's just saying, hey, this ain't my team no more.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think it is, and yeah.
I don't know about the loyalty thing. I think he thinks it as a business more than the loyalty thing. But I think he may just say, hey, man, this ain't my team no more. This is Luka's team. And, maybe I'll go play with Steph.
And I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but honestly, I think he's okay with it because when they first got Davis, the whole time they've had Davis, he said multiple times that it needed to be Anthony Davis's team, not his team.
I agree.
So I think he might. I think if Luka is that kind of guy that'll come in and take the team, I think LeBron would be all right with it.
I agree with that, except I think he had some say on Davis. I don't think he had a say. Not that Luka. I understand Luka's probably arguably a better player than Davis, but
no, I get what you're saying.
But he had some say so on Davis. He didn't on Luka.
Yeah, it's one of those things that his ego will.
Pablo's okay.
Hey, you should talk to me first, kind of deal,
I'll be knocking my shit down, man.
I'm just gonna scroll across the screen for a minute.
Hey, Pablo better be cool. He's got a gun.
Pablo's like, hell with this negativity. Fuck him. I'm just gonna go take a nice poo over here by the door. First note though, Bron's already kind of come out and said that he doesn't plan on leaving the Lakers. But then again, how much can you really take him at his word? I mean, he can say one thing today and do something completely different tomorrow. But
they'll do a special show and he'll announce where he's going to play next year. Okay. He did. How many years ago was that? 15 years ago?
13.
But I do think it is time to move on from Bron. I think his time there is honestly, I think it's done. I think this is for the Lakers. I think that their best time is to let Luka take over the reins, let Bron go into the sunset, and then start building up from draft picks or free agency or whatever it is you can do after Bron is off your books. I mean,
how dangerous would Golden State be with LeBron on that team with Mitchell and?
Not too dangerous. It would just be the old man's club, honestly.
I think it depends on if can Steve Kerr keep Butler happy, keep Steph happy, and also make Bron happy. I mean, and he still got Draymond Green in the mix. So I mean, he's got to make all those people happy. If he can do what Phil Jackson, then he's gonna have to.
I think they'd be pretty good. The two he'd have to worry about keeping the happiest would be Draymond and Butler. Steph don't seem like he really gets involved in much of that.
He seems like a pretty much team player.
Yeah. And LeBron at this age,
he does
stage
great late
career,
back,
I don't think he's as contentious on that stuff as he used to be.
Yeah.
But Draymond and Butler, them two might fight each other. Who the hell knows?
That might be a good fight.
Man!
Butler probably
I remember that fight with Jordan Poole. When did Jordan Poole?
Let's say Butler put up a better fight than Jordan Poole did.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't think Butler.
Most likely. No doubt.
I'm wondering.
Guy, they're gonna probably have him.
What's interesting is, so Steph is about 36, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think Draymond is also in his mid-30s. I mean, you got an aging squad over there that's left over from Mark Jackson. I'm wondering, in my opinion, I think the mark of a good coach is how are you going to rebuild that roster to where it was that Mark Jackson gave you? And I'm curious to see how Steve Kerr starts to remake this roster with new players.
That's interesting. How much longer do you think he's going to coach? Do you think maybe when Steph's done, he's done?
That's a good question. That really is a good question. I don't know, Glenn. What do you think? You think he continues coaching after Steph and them hang it up?
Kerr, yeah, I think he hangs out for a little bit. I don't think that's too much longer. I think he'll probably do like a Jimmy Johnson kind of thing. He'll stay it for a little bit, but not like make a career out of it.
I just wonder if once he loses all these Mark Jackson players, if he's going to be exposed, or is he really going to rise up and continue to rebuild the team and keep putting those key pieces into place. That's the one thing I loved about Popovich. Even though, when David Robinson left and then Tony Parker left and then, Brown left and, all these guys were leaving, he was still putting, championship caliber teams, together. He was still putting other pieces into place. Bruce Bowen, that's what I was thinking of. When Bruce Bowen left, and then they brought in, what's his name from the Lakers? It was also a Rocket. Robert
me,
Horry.
by the way. I meant to put that out as Glenn, not Frankie C and Gonzo and shit. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm getting ready for the Pacer game. I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I knew what it was. That's why I started laughing, because I knew it was good.
Glenn,
Yeah,
really, Glenn, really? You thought that was the right chat, Glenn? Come on, it's always
Yeah,
the video right.
honestly. I'm
Glenn,
getting
it's
them
always
off
the
here.
video right. It's just this
He
way.
probably-
Not
hey.
down, but right.
Glenn probably grabbed that wrong pill.
Yeah.
He probably got that Toradol. He's probably going for the
At least
Tramadol.
me on this one, I won't get suspended for 25 games.
No, that's true.
I'll catch you tomorrow.
We're going to give you a 25-second slap on the wrist. What time to be alive? No, I really do. I think, I'm curious to see how Kerr, if he can do what Popovich did, even to the point where Phil Jackson would bring in other players to replace other players, even on the Bulls, he did it again on the Lakers. Can Kerr continuously do where his masters did? You know what I mean? Above him.
Yeah. It'd be interesting, but I think he can. I think Kerr's a pretty good coach, and he's coached a lot of these guys on Team USA together and stuff, as well, dealing with them, all the personalities all together like that. So that would help a little bit at having that experience as well.
Oh, for sure. Real quick, since we're kind of speaking on controversies and things like that, Bregman, real quick, if you don't mind, Bregman he got picked up by the Red Sox to play third base. You got a guy like Devers, that $300 million third baseman that they have, and he has come out and publicly said that he's not willing to leave third base, that he's a third baseman. He's not going to switch, so where do you see that going? Do you think they're going to push Bregman over to second base, and he's just going to have to learn that position? And will he be effective on a defensive level at that position? Or do you think that they're going to wind up moving Devers, even though Devers has clearly come out and said he won't be a DH and he won't give up to another position? How do you see all that unfolding, Gonzo and Tony?
It just depends on what their plan was when they brought Bregman in. And I would say if their plan is to play him at third, they're going to play him at third, and they're going to tell Devers you're playing here and basically get over it. But I think Bregman could play. I think Bregman probably could play like some second base. I think he'd be all right at second if they wanted to do something like that. Most of these guys can play. I mean, you can move them around to quite a few different positions. I mean, they're just used to playing there. But I mean, if a guy can play third, he probably can play second. Especially a guy like Bregman, who said
he played short, didn't he?
Yeah, Bregman has pretty good range, so I think he would be fine at second if they decide to move him that way.
Jay, what would you do? I mean, who do you think the better third baseman is, and who do you think would be the better fit at second if it was up to you?
If it was up to me, I'm probably going to – Bregman has come out and said that he'll play whatever position that they ask him to play. Now, whether he means that or if he's just doing that to be popular or have a good reputation or what have you, who knows. But if it was me, I got $300 million invested in Devers. I got about 120 invested in Bregman, but Bregman has 2 opt-outs. So you're really in a tough situation here. If it was me, I'd probably leave Devers at third, Because if I move Devers anywhere else, it's going to get pissed off. I'm probably not going to get the production. It's just going to cause a whole lot of probably nasty vibes in the clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? It's whereas Bregman, maybe he's a little bit more, easy to appease. He'll go over to second, whatever. But if Bregman goes to second and he says, you know what, this position ain't for me. This is not what I am. I didn't sign up for this. They put me here. I tried to be a team player, but I just can't. I don't like playing second. I want to go back to third. He has an opt-out. He can simply opt out of 1 year being there, and now you're going someplace else and they're back to where they were before. Only now they have already pissed off Devers trying to move him. So I think you're going to leave Devers and then try to do as best you can with Bregman. That's what I think. That's how I would play that. It's almost like you got to pick between the two evils. You know what I mean?
But taking that out, which way do you think makes the team the best?
Well, what makes the team?
You think the team's better with Bregman at third?
Yes, because Devers, his error rate at third base is horrible. That's why they brought Bregman in to replace Devers at third, and then Devers didn't like.
That's what I'm saying. If that's what
the hissy fit, you know. So yeah, I would put.
See, that's what I'm saying. If that was your plan, I think you stick to your plan. That you don't just you don't change it because
I totally get that.
Going to get upset.
Yeah, I get that.
But I see what you're saying. I mean, they could cause some issues, but I think they'd be better off with Bregman at third because I think he's the better defensive third baseman.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you have Devers, if you move Devers to DH, you're not losing Devers bat in the lineup, but you're improving your defense.
And you still play Devers.
I just think with that, sometimes if you piss somebody off or they get in a bad way, I just don't know how it's good for the overall morale or chemistry of the team.
No, I get what you're saying there too.
Maybe it won't. I think if you're going to take a chance on a third baseman for a guy that's over the age of 30, that's hitting close to about 238, 240 in the postseason, and you're giving him 2 opt-outs, it's almost like setting yourself for success or for failure. I don't think that contract was in their best interest. I think they overpaid for him. So, yeah, you almost got to accommodate him because you've overpaid him so much money. You're right. So you're probably going to have to put him at third. You're going to have to put Devers. Somehow or another, I just think there's going to be some backlash on that. I don't know if that was a good move for them to bring in Bregman without first consulting Devers and say, look, this is what we plan on doing. I know this is going to piss you off, but it's for the betterment of the team. I would have consulted him first before you brought Bregman in or try to bring Bregman in because it sounds like Devers wasn't expecting them to put Bregman at third initially. It sounds like they kind of caught him off guard.
And to your point, like there's so many games in baseball, like they can play both of them at third. Some
that's probably the way I would do it. Honestly,
Devers, Devers wouldn't have to be DH all the time. I mean, and
I think that's actually a good idea, Gonzo. I mean, I think you could probably satisfy the best of both worlds and say, look, we'll play half the season will be him, half the season will be you. We'll just, mix it up as we go along throughout the season,
There's times you can play
somebody needs a rest or a break,
Time you can play Bregman at second. There's different. It's a lot different now than it was, back in the 70s and 80s where a guy played shortstop and he played every game or second base player. They didn't miss no games.
I mean, here's the thing, though, guys. They brought in Bregman specifically because of his defense at third. That's what brought him there. It wasn't his offense. It was his defense. So if it was your defense, it's the reason why they brought you there, kind of what Gonzo's saying. If this is the reason why you got me, then you're going to put me at third. And, it's just as simple as that. Put me at second and pay me $40 million to play a position I haven't played before. Is that really what you brought me here for? Because it's my defense. It's going to take me time to learn that position. I don't think you can just go from third to first. There's so many mechanical differences there. I don't think it's going to play their best benefit. What Gonzo was saying, how is that going to affect the team? Well, it's going to affect the team because you're not getting the most out of your player that you just gave $40 million to per season. It's crazy to me.
Okay, guys, who you liking tonight in the hockey game? Canada, United States.
I'm going Canada, but I'm going USA, but I think like we were talking about earlier, man. I think Canada just I'm gonna say with our injuries, with all the injuries that America hasn't talked about, I think that's good. That could be, and like you said, 3 out of 4, Tony. You said that Canada has taken from us. To get that, make it 3 out of 5, we have to play immaculately great hockey for that to happen. Gonzo?
Yeah, I'm worried because of the injuries. I think without the injuries, I would be a lot more confident. I think we handled them pretty good the last game, but that was the round to get to the finals. The game to help get to the finals. Now this is the finals, and this is where Canada has had her number lately. So,
but it's also in Boston.
That's true. It is in Boston.
I'm gonna go with the United States, but I think it's gonna be a real close game.
Yeah, I think we'll be too. I think we'll go right down to the wire, and I'm gonna go with the United States too. But I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna watch some of that game. I'm gonna watch Impact Wrestling.
What time does that game come on tonight?
I think it's 8, if I remember right. I think on ESPN, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch that
and
game.
Then Jay, I was going to ask you about this. Fox put out a list of the top 10 free agent running backs, and I know Dallas may be one of the teams looking for a running back because one of their running back last year was one of the free agents. Number 1, they had Harris from Pittsburgh. Aaron Jones was the number 2 pick, top 10 free agents. Dobbins was 3. Dowdy from Dallas was 4. Chubb 5 from Cleveland. Gainwell from Philadelphia 6. Warren 7 from Pittsburgh. 8 Mason from San Francisco. 9 Hunt from Kansas City, and Elijah Mitchell, 10 from San Francisco. So San Francisco's got a couple players on there. Pittsburgh's got a couple players on there. If you had your pick, Jay, for Dallas, who would you take out of that top 10?
Well, yeah. If I had my pick, I'd probably re-sign Dowdle, to be honest with you. I like Dowdle. I like what he did with the Cowboys last year. It wasn't his fault that they didn't make it further along. I thought he had considering the fact that you didn't have a real true quarterback after Dak went down with the injury, a lot of that weight fell on him in the run game. And I still thought he put up a lot of yardage given the fact that we didn't have a real quarterback. So I'd probably stay with Dowdle. And he doesn't get injured a whole lot, which is a good thing. So I'd probably stay with Dowdle. If I couldn't keep Dowdle, then I'd probably look and try to get maybe Gainwell. I like what Gainwell did running behind Saquon Barkley. I thought he did quite well, but Barkley just has the name. And so you really kind of didn't get a good view of Gainwell. But, hopefully they get the draft. Let's see.
I don't know if Gainwell is a every down back.
Yeah.
I think he's a good complementary back that could be used a lot on third downs and a lot and still maybe get 10, 15 carries a game or something, but I don't know that he could carry 25 times a game. That would be my only concern about Gainwell.
No, I understand that concern.
I like Chubb. What do you think? I like Chubb, but again, the injury thing. I would take a chance on Chubb. And I also like Mason from San Francisco. I like Mason a lot. Now, the rumor I heard Dallas was interested in Harris. But then again, I'm not saying that's accurate report. That was just something I read. I'm not. Somebody made a good point, though. Somebody said, well, Harris ain't that great. But then somebody said, like they said, though, you got to have an offensive line block for you, too.
Harris didn't have a bad year, though. Aaron Jones had a good year running the ball from Minnesota.
He did. He wouldn't be a bad pick for anybody, I don't think. Jones don't have the big names.
I think Minnesota winds up re-signing him. I don't know if they're going to let him go, honestly. They just traded for him.
I like Jones.
That may depend on what they do at quarterback.
He's good out of the back. He's good running the ball, but he's also good receiving out of the backfield as well. I like Jones.
If they re-sign the quarterback, they may not have the money for him and Jones both. That could be true. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I mean, Aaron Jones, he wouldn't be. If the Cowboys got Aaron Jones, or if they, I don't think they're going to go after him because I think it's going to cost too much. They're going to have to get more of an affordable priced running back, which is why I think they go back and pick up Dowdle. I think Dowdle is probably going to be more cap friendly for them. Najee Harris could be cap friendly. I don't know what his cap number is or what his.
Would you take a chance on? Would you take a chance on Chubb if you could get him on a good deal?
Oh yeah, I think I would give him a shot. I'll tell you though, I would pair him up with another running back just to be safe because God forbid if he's not, then I'm screwed, without having a running back. So he'd have to come in on a cap friendly deal that I could pair up. Maybe I bring him in, bring in if I'm lucky enough to get Gentry, bring them both in and then I could probably put them both underneath the cap real nice. But if I can't get Gentry, then I'm going to try to pair him up with Dowdle. Or actually, I'll probably just bring back Dowdle. I don't even think I mess with anything else. I think I just bring back Dowdle and call it good. And that's all because I just don't think the Cowboys have enough capital to really work with. I think they're $4 million, Gonzo, if I'm not mistaken. I think we talked about this.
If they're
$4 million above the cap.
But if they're lucky enough to be able to get the running back that they want, if it's true that they're targeting the guy from I think was Boise State, right? If they got him, then I think his name's Gentry. If they get him, then do you concern yourself about re-signing Dowdy or anybody on that list?
No, if they're lucky enough to get Gentry, then I would let go of Dowdle. I think they got Deuce Vaughn. I think as their backup. I think they got somebody else over there. A lot of people don't realize they still got Dalvin Cook on their practice squad. I don't know what they're going to do with Dalvin Cook, but he's still out there on the practice squad. But no, if I got Gentry, I would probably let go of Dowdle and just keep it at that and go with whatever running backs you got left on your roster. And make that work. Only because, like I said, you only got $4 million in cap to play with, so you still got to probably try to find a wide receiver 2 to complement CeeDee Lamb, and they're gonna have to find that. They still got to work on that secondary because I don't know how long Trayvon Diggs is going to be out. I think Bland could be coming back off of injury, so they got some issues in that secondary to work. They definitely got some multiple places they need to really work on. So you really got to try to save as much. That's why I thought getting Gentry would be the best move for them. Because he wouldn't really count for that much against the cap. He'd be super cap friendly. Oh
yeah, definitely. Do you guys think Gentry is a 1,000-yard rusher next year?
Yeah,
just depends on what team he's on. I think.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, okay, Cowboys. Think he rushes for 1,000 yards for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
They have a decent offensive line, not great, not as good as it once was, but
I think they could do 1,000 on Cowboys. I'm not going to say it's like 2,000, but I definitely think they could do at least 1,000 to 1,200, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think he's just too good of an athlete to not get at least 1,000 if Dowdle can do that. And Pollard did it, and Pollard's not an every down back either, as you've seen by his injury report.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's why they moved on from him.
I'm curious to see if Dallas moves up from that 12 spot to try to get Gentry, or if they try to stay at the 12 spot and see if he falls to them, Because I've seen some reports that has Gentry going at 10. And some of the mock drafts, they got him going at 10. So I don't know.
I've seen a lot of them. Said 12. I even seen a thing that had Dallas making a trade. I don't know how they would afford this, Jay, but to get Myles Garrett.
They don't have the money for Myles Garrett. That's just wishful thinking, honestly. Unless they track, I guess you could trade D-Law and see what you can get for him. But I don't know if anybody's going to really want to trade for DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know. He hasn't really done a whole lot to really command. So I think they're going to have to probably put picks and a player. So maybe put D-Law and some picks in there to make sure they're going to go after Myles Garrett.
Have a better feeling too, where some of these guys will go in the draft after next week when they have the NFL Combine.
When does it start?
Next.
Because the draft is in April, Thursday? Correct?
Draft's in April. The Combine's next Thursday. NFL Combine starts next Thursday, a week from today. Here in
apparently, Shedeur Sanders isn't going to be there.
Shedeur got invited. Shiloh didn't get invited. So is Shedeur not going since Shiloh didn't get invited?
I don't know.
And then Cam Ward said, "What are you saying?"
I thought they said something about Sanders wasn't going to participate.
Yeah, that's what
I know. Shiloh. I know the one Sanders didn't get invited.
Yeah,
Shiloh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
I hadn't heard about
this. What is he? Defensive back? Gonzo, is that right?
Yeah.
I think he's a deep back. Yeah.
But it is saying that Shadur's not planning on attending the is it the draft or the combine?
It's the combine. I thought he was not going to do any of the combine stuff. I thought that's what I heard. And does that hurt?
That's what I was. That was the impression I was going under from what I read on him.
Guys, to you, if you're a team owner or a general manager, does that hurt his stock any to you?
No. What this is saying here is that
Not really.
Yeah, he's not planning on going to attending the NFL draft in person.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be in Green Bay to hear his name called. He's not going to go to the actual NFL draft in person. Which I don't blame him on that, because you get some of these guys that the media hypes up are going to be
Green Bay.
They're going to be the first. Probably something with the dad or something, but I'll have to read more on that. But like, I don't have a problem with him doing that, because look at these guys. Like, well, Aaron Rodgers was one of them. There's been multiple guys. People thought were going to be a first or second pick, and then they fall to late in the first round, and you're sitting in this room, and they just keep putting a camera on you. Is he going to get picked this one? Is he going to get picked? It's just
it can be a little
embarrassing. So I get why not going. It ain't going to affect your draft stock whether you're at the draft or not. You know what I mean?
I think Sanders goes whether I think he's worth it or not. I think he goes top 10.
Yeah, but there's that chance that something happens, and you know what I mean?
It's true.
So I
did you hear what
I think that's part of
it. Cam Ward said that whoever doesn't draft him in the top 3 or whatever it was, that they would regret it. Did y'all see when he came out with that one?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He flat out said that if I don't go 1, they're going to regret. Whoever doesn't take me is going to regret it.
I like Ward a little bit better than Sanders. I'm still not completely sold on him, but I guess put this way, if I had a choice between Ward and I think the quarterback that the Colts have right now, I'd probably take Ward.
Yeah, and now I see Travis Hunter is going to be in the draft as a defensive back. So do you think he goes 1 at the defensive draft back spot and still maybe play him wide receiver sparingly? Or do you think him being as a D back is going to make him slip?
I thought he was just working out as at the combine as a defensive back, but I don't think it'll make him slip either way. Like, I think the teams are going. I think whatever team decides to draft him is going to go in to draft him with the plan of what they plan on, if they plan on having him on defense or on offense or both. So I don't think it's going to drop him, but I guess from what the way it was being reported by the media, I haven't read it, was that I guess the NFL wouldn't let him work out both at the combine. Yeah, he can only do 1 at the combine, which didn't make a lot of sense. Why can't he do the defensive back drills and the wide receiver drills at the combine?
For sure. By the way, so Cam Ward's actual words are to NFL teams. His message to NFL teams was, quote unquote, "If you don't draft me, that's your fault, ... and I'll remember that," end of quote. Tasty.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. That's just a guy being confident.
Oh, for sure. No, I like
a lot of players. A lot of players say that.
Yeah, of course. And let's be honest, what player doesn't have a chip on their shoulder for the teams that didn't draft above them? I mean, you kind of go.
I'm not sure a player I'm drafting say that.
You want to prove something, right?
Yeah, I'd much rather a player I draft say that than a player being okay with being drafted, or being okay with like 20 other guys being drafted in front of him. You know what I mean? I'd rather have the guy that's upset that 20 people got drafted ahead of me. Because, like you said, he's gonna have that.
Because it shows he's got that dog mentality in him, like and it shows like
he's gonna have that fire in him fire in him to prove people wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Travis Hunter chose defensive back over wide receiver, but I can kind of see that. I mean, he's maybe following the footsteps of his mentor, Dion, because Dion was a defensive back drafted like that, but then they turned him into every now and again punt returner and or wide receiver. So I think maybe he's just trying to follow the same footsteps as Dion kind of went in.
Yeah. I'd have to do more research on which position pays more on average.
Well, I don't know wideouts get a lot of money. Ask Justin Jefferson. I don't know what defensive backs make though. I mean, they probably make probably make a little bit of money, but I think that wide receiver is probably gonna pay more. Let's see here.
What's the lowest paid? Is offensive line still the lowest paid? I mean, other than kicker and punter. I mean,
I don't know. Them left tackles, they get a pretty good, payday.
Probably safeties.
Linebackers probably don't get nearly as much on defense.
I'll have to look that up and we'll talk about it.
I think some linebackers do pretty good. I would say safeties.
Well, all right, Jay, you got anything else before we get out of here, man?
Oh, no, man. Other than, hey, if you like your content, please go give a like, share, and subscribe to Gonzo Sports Room. They do really good work over there. And give a little like and a subscribe to ESCN on our YouTube. And we hope you like the content, man. It's been fiery. It's been zesty. And it's been very positive.
All right. We appreciate everybody watching. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.